Howdy y'all, welcome back to Cam Shack Productions. As you can see, today I'm back in the office, which means we're going to be talking about a pretty serious topic. I recently went looking for a hike at a lower elevation due to all the snow we have here in the mountains, and realized that we are facing a major problem here in Utah, also in Colorado, and probably near you. And that is losing access to our public lands through politicians, home developers, and public and private homeowners. And it's something that's happening all over in our mountains, on our BLM lands, in our deserts, anywhere you can think of, people are trying to stop us from getting to these locations.
Ben Crya with the Forest Service Salt Lake Ranger District explains how on the road just past the Donut Falls trailhead in an area called Cardiff Fork.
There's a gate, it's on Forest Service, but as you go up the road ownership changes from Forest Service to private, back to Forest Service, back to private.
And he says the private landowners decided not to renew the Forest Service's special use permit that recently expired that allowed people to hike, snowshoe, or ski on those private portions of the road.
We have a really important situation right here. I'm here with Troy. He's representative of UPLA, which is the Utah Public Lands Alliance, and I'm here with Val, and she's representing Trail Hero. It's a really big event that goes on here. We're talking about the trails in this area that are in danger, like imminent danger. The ball's already rolling. They want to take this section of land and trade it so it could be for housing development. Literally where we're standing, there could be houses in a couple of years. We're standing on the West Rim Trail, which is a trail that I always recommend when people come out. It's a beautiful trail.
Some of Colorado's 14ers could soon be off limits to the public. 8 of the state's 58 14ers are at least partially located on private land. Those private landowners are in charge of maintaining the land for public access, and they're potentially liable for injuries to hikers if a judge ever finds that a landowner, quote unquote, willfully or maliciously neglected the maintenance or failed to post warning signs.
And I think it might be a domino effect where we see other landowners, not just on 14ers, but access to favorite fishing holes for rivers and water access for kayakers and mountain bikers on trails. We see more closures.
So one of the things that I did when researching this topic was I followed the money, the basic concept of why do developers, when they're building these places, not take into account that they should be putting access into the land that we want to get to, the trailhead, the hikes that we want to do. And I think what I really found is it's amazing how much money building associations, companies that actually build the homes and subdivisions here in Utah in particular give. And here are some examples I have for you. The Association of General Contractors gave $170,709 this year to political campaigns. Ivory Homes, which is one of the big home builders here in Utah, gave $28,950 to political campaigns. And the Utah Home Builders Association gave $452,244 to local politicians. So that is a total of $651,903 totally given to politicians. And it makes sense when I look at those kinds of numbers why none of this is considered. When a builder wants to put a subdivision in, they're going to get that access granted because they're donating over $500,000 to politicians. So it's an easy stamp to just say, here, go ahead, build it. We don't really care about the trail access. Just go ahead and take the place and let's all make a lot of money. All right, everybody. So, right up this road, which you could easily walk right up the middle of and stay out of everybody's yard, is Deaf Smith, which is this great canyon right back here. And you can see they take it pretty serious, private road. So they won't even let you get into the stream, which should be public access all the way up. All right, y'all, so if you have made it this far in the video, I'm going to take that moment to please shamelessly plug my channel and what we're trying to do here at Cam Shack Productions. I have grown so much since making some of these videos about public lands, and I just want to continue to grow. So I'm going to ask you to stop for just a second, please go down and hit that like button. If you think that I'm doing this well, just hit that like. It really helps share this video. And if you're feeling super generous, go down and subscribe. I know it's the YouTube thing to do, but I really appreciate it. There are only limited parking spaces. So there might be 12 parking spaces, and once those spaces are full, the only thing around them are basically signs that say residential parking only or parking by permit only. And what I don't understand is, I don't want to block access to some of these smaller roads. Some of these places are up on the hillside, they're thin roads. But what I don't understand is why can't just one side of the street be public parking? And if you don't want cars parking in front of your house, I mean, I can't go out in front of my house and put up a by permit only parking in front of my house. It's a public street. People can park there. As long as there's not a car already parked there, they can park there. And I don't understand why living up in one of these very affluential neighborhoods, one of these really nice locations, the people that live in these houses have the most amazing views, they have the most amazing access, and it just doesn't seem like they're happy enough with that. They want it all to themselves, and I just don't think that's right. I want to see these spaces shared. We want to be outside. We are seeing an increase in people going outside. Why don't we make it easy? Why don't we put some places for people to park? Why don't we look at the neighbors in the area and say, hey, this is great, this is your location, but you did build right in front of a major trail, so we need to allow some access to these places. Again, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Why can't we find a little place to compromise? I think it's something that we should all be able to do. So as you can see, there's a neighborhood here that's basically blocking off this whole canyon. There's also one that runs right here, and there's a gated community that blocks off all of this space. So they basically get their own private canyons because they have nice big houses. So when looking at this, again, one of the things I found is there are a few places that do some easements and access to our hikes pretty well. Sandy City has a ton of great locations where they have street parking. They have easements that run up through the private property, asking you to stay on those trails. All right, y'all. So here we are at Bell's Canyon, which is in Sandy City, which is the next city over from where we just were, which was Mill Creek. And as you can see, they have done a really nice job of creating a place where you can easily access parking safely and a really simple trail that they built that just follows up. And they've designed this when they built the residence up here, which are some very, very nice homes, as you can see. They just made sure to put a path in. And you do need to stay on the path. This is somebody's basically property that we're walking through. And you can see, stay on the path, but this will take you right up. And it does add a little bit of distance to your hike, but overall, it gives you access to a lot of great canyons. And I think Sandy City has done a really nice job with this. So one of the things that I know is happening is that this isn't just happening in my neck of the woods. This is happening in Colorado. I know that there's a lot of conversation about blocking access to some of Colorado's 14ers. There's a big debate over whether those lands should be insured by the landowner, because to get to a lot of those 14,000 high peaks, you have to cross through private land. And again, it comes back to this access piece. Is it happening near you? Do you know the places that were once great hiking trails when you were a kid that now you can't get to because there was a subdivision built there? If you do, go down, leave a comment, tell me what it's about, let me look into it, and we'll see, how is this happening? How come we can't find a way to share this, grant access, and make it easier for us to get through, and again, to be able to share these locations and these beautiful canyons that everybody should be able to hike if they want to go out and hike. So I think in closing, one of the things I want to remind everyone about is that, please, if you are one of these property owners, build a path. think about what you have, think about how lucky you are to be there, think about how wonderful this space is, and let us go through and use it. For those of us that are actually hiking through people's private property, be respectful. Walk through quietly, turn off your Bluetooth speakers, listen to what's going on around you. Be respectful. Don't be like that person at the Boston Marathon that went to the bathroom on that person's front lawn, right? Like, come on. If people are going to allow us access to get to the hikes we want to, then we need to be ultra respectful. If you see trash on the ground, even if it's not yours, pick it up. Leave it better than you found it. If we can all do that, we'd never have any disputes with landowners and people wanting us to not be there. Landowners, same thing goes to you. Allow us access. If we're not doing a good job, let us know. Leave signs. Ask people for your help. But let's be able to get to the places we all want to go to and see, and do it in a way that's respectful and kind to everyone so that we all can go and see these beautiful locations. You know, again, I really appreciate you sticking around till this point. This is something that I am so passionate about and something that I'm going to continue to look at situations and figure out. In fact, in an upcoming video, we're going to be talking about Senator Joe Manchin's new bill on what he's proposing for national parks and access to public lands. A lot of it I like, one piece I don't, but that's coming in the future. So hope to see you back here next week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Be well, my friends.